My mom is actually Nigerian, but she was raised in Cameroon. My dad's also Cameroonian, and those are both countries in West Africa. They met while they were both in Cameroon and got married, had us. I was born in Cameroon and we lived there for a while. My dad was actually in the army, so he worked there for my country and then for the UN. My mom's a teacher, so she worked as a teacher for a while, and then she started working for the Ministry of Education. And then my mom decided to do like they call them a lottery, and you can, if you win that, then you get like the opportunity to move over here. And she did that just because she wanted a better life for my sister and I. It wasn't what we were expecting. So on TV you see like New York and Miami and blah blah blah, and it just looks like the buildings are not the same. And then we came to Minnesota and it looked completely different. So we were kind of shell shocked. And we were also culture shocked a little bit just because it was really different from what we're used to. Like I guess people have this perception that once you move here, when you come here, money is everywhere, there's like dollars on the street. Obviously that didn't happen. So that was kind of a culture shock for us, but we used to watch Disney Channel, so a lot of stuff was not that different. We follow the Cameroonian culture just because that's what we were born into. My mom also grew up in Cameroon, so it just kind of works out. We still have some aspects of the Nigerian culture in like our household, but for the most part, it's Cameroonian. We're very communal. Like here, everyone's so individualistic, and we're really used to that. We're still not used to that. Where back home, it's like the goal is to make sure that everyone's okay, or you're doing anything for the good of the family instead of the good of the person. So that was just kind of a different thing, just moving here and seeing how like different that aspect was. For our culture, it's very rich. It's like there's a lot of dancing, a lot of music, a lot of really good food, spicy food. A lot of it is also kind of tied to religion, where I'm from, my family's very Christian, so a lot of things that we do revolve around being like a Christian family. Languages are also different. So we speak English, we speak French, and then there's a few other like traditional languages that we speak, and that's really unique. Cameroon, it's a really great country for the most part. Really peaceful. Yeah, we've had some like colonial influence, but we've been more lucky than most other African countries. I think the biggest perception like is we don't speak English. When we moved here, I was like, oh, your English is really good for someone who was like, who grew up in Africa. I said, well, actually, I spoke English my entire life, so I assume that it's good because of that. A lot of it too is like where we come from is not developed, and we don't have any like technology, or we don't live in houses, or we don't have any of that stuff, which is really false because we do have houses. We were pretty well off before we moved here, so I didn't understand at first why people had that perception of where we were from. Another thing, if people just assume that you want to be here, I like this country, like the US. I'm glad that I got the opportunity to come here and study and really learn a different culture, but at the same time it's really difficult being away from home, just because like I mentioned, 90% of my family is still back home, and you don't get to see these people, and unfortunately people get sick, people die, people age, and some people I'm never going to see again, and that's just the reality of it, and that's really hard. I think that's the hardest part of being an immigrant, is people change. It's like the country that I left back home is not going to be what I go back to, and I've not visited since we moved here, so a lot has changed. A lot of people have left, and a lot of people have passed on, and it's just really hard for me to realize that I'm just not ever going to see it again. School here is really easy compared to where we're from. Cameroon follows like the British and French system, so school's a lot more difficult. We had to take, the year before we moved here, I took like 18 classes, and then moving here, it's like you only take 6, and that was an easy break for us, I guess, which is why we got to skip grades, but it was easier. I decided to go to UND because I was interested in aviation, commercial aviation, and UND has a really good aviation program. And it's close to home, but also far enough that I can kind of have my independence in my space. I've met some really good people. I don't regret coming here most days. I have made some really good friends, I've met some really good mentors, and I've learned some really good stuff while I was here as well. So I think in general, it could have been a better experience, but at the same time, I'm grateful for the chance to come here and just have this different perspective, I guess. I like North Dakota because it's small in general, and I like Grand Forks because it's also smaller. Just being from the cities, it's really big, and a lot of people are like almost impersonal. but here you know a lot more people. It's easier to get to stuff. The traffic's not as bad. North Dakotans, for the most part, are nice. They're nice people. There's Minnesota nice, but there's also North Dakota nice. So for the most part, they're actually like, most people are decent people. So I like that. So I came to UND as a commercial aviation major, but then I eventually switched over to psychology pre-med, and I would like to go to medical school. When I'm done, I graduate in May, and I want to focus on aviation, aerospace medicine. I'm still really interested in the aviation industry. I just don't want to fly planes for a living. So I would like to get as much experience, possibly work for NASA, and I would also like to go back to my country and develop the aviation medicine aspect of my country. I think diversity in general is just important. I think diversity is necessary just because it allows you to have a lot more perspectives than you usually would, and it allows you to relate to a lot more people, and you can see stuff from people's standpoints, or why people think the way they think, or why they act the way they act. And I think in order to be successful in our world that's constantly changing, you have to be able to relate to different people and not just the same people or people who think the way that you do. So diversity allows us to get that varying perspective that's necessary to be like a successful professional out in the world, or just a successful or a decent human being.